tell me a little bit about what you're going to make today?
Today I'm going to make traditional bullets, Boulettes, but we grew up calling them bullets. They're a traditional meal from our Métis community. Both sides of my family are from Round Prairie settlement, and so we grew up eating the same type of boulettes. There are different styles in Prince Albert and up in the north, and this is the way that we always make them. They're a little bit bigger, they're soft, and that's the way we cook them. And bullets and bannock are a traditional food for us because we celebrated New Year's, not so much Christmas, but New Year's was huge for us. So when we were kids, our mom and dad would get us ready, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, we'd go to Grandpa Charlie's, which was our first stop. And the first thing you always had was boulettes. And then after that, you'd have, you know, turkey and ham and all those fixings. My biggest memory is this big chiffonier against the wall that was loaded with pastries, pies and cakes and everything. And then when we were all done, that's the day Grandpa would give us this little bag of candy and sometimes 10 cents to go with it. So it's a huge memory for me. Then from there, we'd go to Grandpa Joe's and Grandma Flora's house, my dad's mom and dad, and we'd go and we'd do the same thing. We'd have boulettes and the big meal and everything, and we'd get a little treat. And then towards the end of the day, we'd go to who we called Grandpa Pete's. And then that's where the fiddles and the guitars and the dancing would all happen. They'd move the furniture back, and, you know, the kids we'd all be up at the top of the stairs looking down, and there'd be loads of kids and loads of adults, and that's how we brought in the New Year's. So I still to this day make bullets for my my brothers, and, you know, my children. My husband loves them, and so I still to this day do that. But the tradition of going house to house, you know, it's not like that anymore as the old people passed on, and, you know, we just tried to keep some tradition within our families. And Mom and Dad would tell us that at Round Prairie, on New Year's Day, early in the morning, you'd hear the sleighs with the bells ringing as people went house to house and visited and brought in the new year. So those are times that you still like to remember, and so that's why I still make bullets. And it's easy to make. So it's hamburger.
Roughly about a pound you're using?
Well, you know, I really don't have a recipe. I just, you know, for if you're making a lot of bullets, you're using a much bigger bowl, and you're using more ingredients. So, but you could say 1.5 pounds if there's just 2 or 3. And then I chop up a few onions and put those in, and salt and pepper, and some flour. And then I always roll them in flour after. You have to have put them into boiling water, so I'm just going to make sure this pot is boiling. It's coming now, so it'll be perfect.
And for the meatball makers that aren't very familiar, what does the flour do for the meat?
It holds them together and kind of puffs them up and makes them soft. So then you just take it, you squish them together like a meatball, except that you'll see they're bigger than a meatball. And you roll them in flour, and you're going to drop them into to boiling water. And then we'll drop them into the boiling water. Around 45 minutes to an hour, depends how many you're making. And it kind of makes a broth from the cooking. And then there's a lot of ways you can eat them. So there. So for me, I like mine like that, and I put crackers in mine. most people, a lot of people have boiled potatoes, which I like with them too. So I think it just depends how you like them. And so that's bullets, Métis style, from where my family comes from.